Hey guys, girls, everybody tuning in. Let me adjust my camera just a little bit here. Are we good? Is that gonna work out? We got a little bit different look here. Working on some things here, and I see it's a little wobbly. See if I can't get that a little bit. Is that better? Let me see something here. If I can get you guys, maybe that will be a little clearer. Took the edge off of it. Hey guys, Paul Glasgow here with Legally Armed America. Let me refresh everything and get us set back again after a week off last week. I'm of course back. And let's see, I don't show live yet. Clearly I'm live, but I don't show live. So I can't see any comments yet. So give me 1 second. Got a beer, drink one. Very weird. Usually I can see whenever, oh, there it is. It's a little further down now. I apologize for if it's a little tough to hear the sound in here, if it's a little bit difficult, because quite frankly, the AC is cranked up over there, and I'm not turning it down. It's hot. Down here in South Louisiana, it's crazy hot. And I mean, my room gets extremely warm in here. Change of scenery, for no particular reason, honestly, guys. It's just a matter of a change of scenery. A different part of the same room. This is a portion of the Temple of Boom, as I like to call it, that is going to be doing a lot more videos on this end. And you can't really see it. I'm looking at the live stream right now and I can see what you guys can see. But I've got some work tables across here. A lot of my tools back here that I do, quote, gunsmithing type work. And I say that because I'm no gunsmith. I just like to work on guns, as most gun guys do. So let me see if I can get that down. If it makes any difference getting it down to look at the a little bit farther down. I don't think it does. Just trying to show you, you'll be able to see more of the benches in future videos, guys. I'll be doing a whole lot of pretty cool stuff in here. So hopefully you guys will see some of that. And I gotta clean up. Everything in here is not where it needs to be, where it's supposed to be. But you know, halfway through the process. I shouldn't say that. It's probably 70% the way through the process. Let me roll through here and give you guys, I have not done this in a while, and I apologize for that. I've been rolling straight into the live stream whenever you guys come in. So I'd like to get some shout outs. If you guys would tell me where you're from, that's always a lot of fun to me. I enjoy being able to see where you guys are from and give you shouts out from everywhere, because it seems like we usually get, first it starts out coast to coast here in the States, and then we end up finding out that we have lots of some European guys and whatnot that are on here with us also. So Richard Partella was in here. Grant Jones is from North Carolina. Good to see you, Grant. Ralph McDaniel from Orlando. Zach Brigg, what's up? Ty J. Doobie and Tamano, what's going on? Green Soldier. Frankie Lopez, Glenn Betts, Daryl Romine, Brent Flash, what's going on, Brent? Willie Dick, what's up? Let's see, Huge Ass Bear, Jose Zaniga, Mike C. And I know I'm scrolling down to where you guys are going to say where you're from. Warsaw Patriot, Milspec Grunt, Matthew Turner, Eric Davis, Ryan Westall. Eric Davis says he's from Libby, Montana. Warsaw Patriot, what's going on? Doing good. Big Mo, what's going on? Hey, Jay Griff, what's happening, dude? Dale Stark, Nicola Chick, ACS. Yeah, Richard, this is the same room. It's just a different angle up in here. I sound like a gangster. Let's see. Jason Young, Superbike Dad, Frankie Lopez, Mikey Marini, or Marini. I did shoot a gun today. Warsaw Patriot asks, where's the question at? Hold on, let me get back up there. Do you agree we shouldn't support Trump because he hasn't defended the Second Amendment and he's violated constitutional amendments like the 4th, 14th, and many amendments? We will get to that here in a little bit. Promise you. Let's see. Jason Young says, I am a kid and I like guns. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. No matter what society and other idiots try to tell you, there's nothing wrong with liking guns. You're perfectly normal. In fact, you might be more normal than most of the young people today. Kathleen, music lover, shiny ceiling. Yes, a very shiny ceiling. That is some tin. Let's see. Kathleen is from Washington State. Richard is from Connecticut. Frankie Lopez is from Texas. Ty J is from Effington, Illinois. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you can get a little more freedom from surrounding states over there. Ryan Westall, Kentucky. Dale Stark is from Raceland, Louisiana. What's up? Another homeboy from Louisiana. Empty Nest Ranch Project, New Jersey. Let's see. Millspec Grunts from Bryant, Arkansas. Patrick Ledbetter from Texas. Nicola Chickas from Wisconsin. We have Northeast Kansas in here. Bikes and Bullets. Robert Baum, Central Illinois. Looking for a new home state. You got one not far from you that seems pretty good. Missouri seems like a pretty good place. Montgomery, Alabama is Glenn Betts. Groton, Connecticut with Mark Zangetti. Big Mo. Blade Show is this weekend. I'm not going to Blade Show. Blade Show's in Atlanta. I'm not a big Atlanta fan. I've been to Atlanta one too many times. It's not my place. I'm not a fan of Atlanta whatsoever. Timbo's from Baton Rouge. Southern Ohio, James Crum. I'm sorry, Maul Kelly is from New Jersey. Zach Briggs, Spokane, Washington. Lone Wolf from Mississippi. Springs, Louisiana. Kenny Stalter, I'm sorry. Peter Akers, wow, sorry I'm late. Moving out of California next week. Good for you. Mountain Yoda, Las Vegas. Huge Ass Bears from Canada, Alberta, Canada. Let's see. I think I have most. Okay, I have most of those out of the way. Let's hit a real hot topic real quick. Drink a beer if you have one. Yeah, let's touch on this suppressor thing real quick. You guys, of course, remember or are aware that we had the Virginia Beach shooting this past week where 12 people, I believe the body count is 12 at this point, 12 people were killed by a disgruntled employee who legally purchased his firearms and legally purchased his suppressor. This is what the left has been waiting for a long time. They've been dying for suppressors to be used. Do you remember when we had the Las Vegas shooting with the allegedly with the bump stocks? And I say allegedly because no facts have really come out in that case. But if you'll remember, right after the Las Vegas shooting where 58 people were killed and 200 and something other were injured, you'll remember that Hillary Clinton came out and said, well, it's a good thing he didn't have a suppressor. And everybody was like scratching their heads going, what? I mean, that's like saying a good thing he didn't have a watermelon. I mean, it's totally unrelated. What does the fact that he didn't have a suppressor have to do with anything? I mean, I'm not trying to be overly pro-gun here, but would a suppressor have made any difference with this guy mowing all those people down? No. They didn't know that they were being shot anyway. So a suppressor would have nothing to do with it. So again, that was brought up. You kind of wonder, why was it brought up? But yeah, that was brought up by Hillary Clinton at that time. So you kind of knew this was a matter of time before this took place. So now we have a shooting where one actually was used. And the left and the anti-gun people believe me, they are high-fiving each other right now. They're fist pumping, yes. I don't care who I offend. I think most of you know me well enough to know, but the left likes mass killings, especially if let me rephrase this. They don't like mass killings. I don't think they're that cold and calculated, but they do like mass killings where guns are involved. Now they call them mass shootings. I call them mass killings because I don't care what tool was used. When an individual is twisted enough to get his mental state to the point where he could take other people's lives, that's the problem that I would like to eradicate. I would like to figure out how and why these people are deciding that they want to kill people and take care of that. Help them. Help other Americans and people in general who may get to that point. Why can we not work towards identifying that? They don't care whenever people are killed if they use knives, tomahawks, chainsaws, cars, vans, bombs. The left really does not care. In fact, they'll go so far as to make excuses for anything else that's not gun related. So they're happy whenever people get shot. They're even more giddy when people are shot and they're using something that's different than your stand. If there's a mass shooting that takes place and somebody uses a revolver, I don't even know if the left will report on that. I'm not sure if they will. I don't know if that's even important to them, because they're so concerned. They want it to be a semi-automatic. They want it to be a black gun. They would love for them all to be AR-15s. Look, if this guy he used a handgun, by the way. If he had used an AR-15 with a suppressor, it would be like unbridled pornography on the news networks right now. Everybody would be humping each other's legs. There's no telling what kind of giddiness that we would be witnessing right now if an AR-15 that was suppressed was used in a killing. And don't think that's not coming up next. So anyway, this guy used a suppressor. It doesn't change anything. How many times have you seen a report when somebody is shooting up people, and suddenly you see people all over the place saying, I didn't know what it was. People are so used to guns. People who don't shoot like we do are so used to guns sounding like they do on television. And you and I both know that when you go out to the gun range, rarely your guns really don't sound like they do at the range with that same report that you hear on television or at the movies. They just kind of manufacture that sound a little bit to make it sound more ominous. So when you hear a gun really being fired in person, it doesn't usually sound like that. So usually when you hear people who are taking place in mass killings, they don't usually know right away that what they're even hearing. They're like, I heard these sounds and it was pop, 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 and I wasn't sure what it was. So rarely do they have an opportunity to identify that. Same thing happened here. Anyone that knows anything about suppressors or silencers, and yes, you can call them both, the ATF calls them silencers. So anybody that knows anything about them knows that they don't silence them. They still make a pretty loud report. In fact, that report is just below damaging your ears. In other words, it's just enough to where your body and your eardrums can tolerate it without doing any real damage. Still real loud. So you still hear this sound. All it does is it kind of camouflages that sound a little bit. It doesn't change the fact that people are still hearing gunshots. You can hear a gunshot a mile away. So it's not like that person a mile away needed to go run and hide because he heard a gun. So the suppressor doesn't give you any real advantage. The only advantage, in all honesty, that the suppressor gives anyone is the shooter, because he doesn't have to wear ear protection and he's not going to have a loud ringing in his ear because he's using a suppressor. So he's the only guy that gets any advantage out of it, or any change in anything. And his advantage is not a tactical advantage. It's simply a physical advantage. He doesn't get a ringing in his ear, and he doesn't have that very temporary, deafness or loss of hearing, because his ears are kind of ringing and making the noise. So anyway, if you're not following the week, Trump has been over there in France and in Europe in general for the 75th anniversary of D-Day, which hat tip to those men and women from back in that day and time. The things that they did to free Europe and to keep us free here in the States, unbelievable. Hat tip big time to the greatest generation ever, fought World War II, the 75th anniversary of D-Day. But Trump's over there for that. And Trump is actually friends with, what's the little guy's name, that very anti-gun? Piers Morgan. That's actually a friend of Trump's, as anti-gun as he is. Go figure. Well, Pierce was asking him about suppressors, and Trump made the comment that he really didn't like them. Very bad. Very, very, very bad, or something like that. Said something really stupid. Now, most of us are used to how Trump operates. Most of us realize that Trump says really stupid things because he doesn't think about what he's saying. So he'll say just dumb stuff. And I voted for Trump. I'm not sitting here trying to bash Trump as a person or a candidate. If anybody on here thinks that Trump is one of the most super intelligent people in the world and never says anything stupid, then you're really, really being blinded. Trump says a lot of stupid stuff. So he says that he doesn't like suppressors. Well, people kind of get up in uproar. Social media goes crazy. Then he gets asked again if he would consider banning suppressors. And he says he'd think about it. Okay, how many times do I have to say Trump wants to be pro-gun, but Trump doesn't know anything about guns, and Trump wants to please people? Trump is a people pleaser. Trump is not a Second Amendment people pleaser. And I don't mean he's anti-Second Amendment. What I mean is he's not looking out for us. Trump is looking out for whatever will make him really popular. Because there's a mass shooting and everybody's talking about suppressors because one happened to be used this time, now Trump's thinking, ooh, you know, Trump watches the news shows and he listens to what people have to say on those news shows. Ooh, they're talking about suppressors. So it sounds like the American public thinks they're bad, and Trump's mind is going, okay, well, it sounds like the American people don't like suppressors. Okay, well, I might ban them because he thinks it's going to make him more popular. Then he gets all this backlash, and he's probably very confused right now. Like, well, I thought the people wanted me to ban suppressors. So we're at that point right now where we have to figure out what is Trump hearing the most of. And I'm saying this for a reason. Now, Trump needs to hear from us. Trump needs to hear from the gun owners saying, hands off the Second Amendment, hands off suppressors. He pretty much got a pass, and he shouldn't have, with these bump stocks. I don't know why he hasn't caught more flack by not trying to support the red flag gun, or not trying to fight the red flag gun laws. He doesn't need to get a pass on suppressors. I know suppressors is not a make or break thing for any of us because I have suppressors. I have them because I have them. I'd love to be able to have enough of them to where I could just throw them in my vehicle, but it's such a pain in the butt to have your paperwork with them all the time that I don't carry mine everywhere with me. They're too much of a hassle because of the stupid laws that we have. So I'd love for there to be no laws involving suppressors so I could just toss one in my pocket or throw it in my backpack. Not have to act like I'm so worried about where my suppressors are going to wind up because my paperwork's not with it, and I surely don't want to leave it in somebody else's bag and make them a felon. You know, how stupid is that? You know, I want that to go away. But at the same time, Trump needs to hear from us saying, leave the suppressors alone. We're not going to let you do this. Because right now, all Trump is doing is sitting back waiting to see what the majority of the people are in favor of. If none of us say anything about suppressors, Trump will move to ban suppressors because Trump does not care about the Second Amendment as it exists. Trump cares about the Second Amendment and what he can do to utilize us and the Second Amendment to gain him additional votes and make him more likable. And I don't mean it just in terms of getting reelected. Trump wants to be liked. Trump is just like Obama was. They're both narcissists. They want to be liked. They want people to adore them. Trump wants people to like him. Trump is not picking on the Second Amendment because he's trying to piss people off. Trump is he thinks that the majority of people want suppressors to go away, so he speaks out on them, and then he gets the blowback, and he's like, whoa, I thought people wanted me to ban these things. So now he's second guessing himself. I can promise you, Trump is trying to figure out what does he need to do right now? What direction do the people want? Because Trump doesn't have a dog in this fight. And I can promise you, Trump doesn't care what side of this issue he falls on. If Trump feels like at the end of the day that more people want suppressors to be left alone, Trump's going to side with suppressors. I truly feel that way. But if Trump feels like more of the American population wants suppressors to be banned, Trump will move to ban suppressors. You mark my word. You mark my word. Watch in the coming days how Trump starts to shift. He's going to shift either more towards, yeah, I know I said I would think about banning suppressors, but I've decided I don't want to do it. If he says that, that means that the 2A people spoke and he listened and he heard them and he realized how unpopular that decision would be. If Trump talks more about banning suppressors, it's over. Trump will not. I'm telling you guys, I know the red flag gun laws are a way bigger deal to me, than suppressors or bump stocks. But this will be the last straw. If Trump tries to ban suppressors, he will lose in 2020. Trump will lose in 2020 if he moves to ban suppressors. You mark my word. Watch and see if I'm not telling the truth. The next few days are going to be very critical in this. The next few days, the next couple of weeks will determine the 2020 election. I'm not saying that if Trump comes out in support of suppressors that he's definitely going to win. That still has to be seen. He's still got to run his race and he's still got to beat his competitor. But if he sides with banning suppressors, he will lose. It doesn't. Hillary could run. As much as people hate her, she could run and she could win. Hillary could be our next president if Trump moves to ban suppressors. I'm telling you. Imagine that. Imagine that. Her being our president. God, it's so hot. I almost want a bottle of cold water. Jeez. Anyway, I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is real life, guys. We're watching history be made now. I truly believe that as small as this suppressor thing going around is, it's huge, man. I think the whole gun community is sitting back watching. Excuse me. It very well may be 3 strikes and out for Trump. He encouraged the bump stock ban. He got it. He has gone so far as to suggest supporting red flag gun laws, taking people's guns before due process. Those are his words. Those are, his words, not mine. If Trump moves to do this, it is going to be a problem for him. I don't think there's any way he can win. Not cool, man. Not cool. This is not a good time right now. And Trump obviously doesn't listen to me, but Trump needs to listen to people. He better wake up, man. He wants to be reelected. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him act like it's not a big deal to him. It's a big deal to him. Hey, before I move any further, I'd like to point out some artwork from my son. I will be displaying more artwork from my son in my room and things like that in some of my videos. So I didn't want you guys to think that was mine up there. I could never do that good. But that's my little boy that did that. Let's see, guys. A couple of guns I want to go over. And again, we didn't do anything last week, so let's go over some things right now. I got some pretty cool stuff to go over. First up is the Mossberg MC1. You're hearing everybody talk about it. A very affordable, very concealable, very narrow pistol. Let's see, this one is a clear magazine with no markings. I think this thing holds either 8 or 10 rounds. I'm not sure. I mean, I could load it up, but I don't want to. I don't load guns up here, except the one on my side. Yeah, good looking pistol. I think it's good looking. It's got some really cool checkering, the artwork, if you will, on the frame. The serrations on them look good. The sights look like Glock sights. I mean, if everybody's okay with Glock sights, why aren't you okay with the Mossberg sights? And the other pistol that I'll be doing something with very soon is the Kimber Evo. Is that SP? Yes, Kimber Evo SP. The S stands for striker pistol. This is actually a pretty pistol. This is Kimber's second soiree into the striker fired market. This was their first one, the Kimber Solo. This one is the closest I can compare this pistol to is pretty much a turd. That's about the best I can get to this one right here. Very finicky on ammo. Not being made anymore. There's a reason why this thing is not being made anymore, but Kimber decided to try to stick with striker fired, and they made the Evo now. Looks better. That's the Solo. That's the Evo. Better looking. Trigger is 1,000 times better. Real spongy, mushy trigger on that Solo. And the Evo, I mean, a really nice trigger. Get that magazine out of there. Yeah, I mean, it's got a nice trigger. If you notice, it's got like the Glock style trigger with the little doodad in the middle of it. But yeah, man, a good looking pistol. It really is a good looking pistol. Oddly enough, as timing would have it, these guns are remarkably the same size. Just about. You see the Mossberg, maybe you see the Mossberg is a little bit longer, but not by much. Two good pistols, both 9mm. Price difference is huge, a gap in between them. We'll see. I'll be doing some videos on them probably this weekend. The Mossberg is probably up first because more people are talking about this. Kimber, man, Kimber has lost its luster over the years. I can remember probably 7, 8, 10 years ago, around the time Obama was elected, Kimber's quality was so much better than what it is now. And I think now that things have slowed down and they're not just shipping guns out the door, rushing them out, I do believe that their quality is starting to improve again. But boy, I've always felt like they had really good guns before. And then they had that real low valley whenever everybody was buying everything that was being built. Kimber's quality control took a dump. And yeah, I think they're finally starting. They laid off probably some people, probably got rid of the rat race that was going on inside their facility, and now they're starting to make decent pistols again. So I think that's helping a lot now with Kimber. So good for them. Oh gosh, yeah, I need water. I'm hot. It's been hot all day today. Let's see, what else? I had some other stuff to go over. Oh, man. Could things get any worse for the NRA? Let me tell you something. Have you guys been following the drama and the soap opera that is Willis Lee, the NRA Board of Directors member? This guy is a wacko. I would probably be trolling him right now on his Facebook page because everybody else is. But I've been in Facebook jail for 7 days, and tomorrow I get out. So I will be hammering Willis Lee tomorrow. I'm really having to bite my tongue because I can't say anything. Every time I try to go in there, in fact, I'll show you if I can even get in there. It's like I can't do anything right now on Facebook. Let me like this idiot's page first. It may not even let me like it because I was trying to respond to somebody who was messaging me on Facebook and I couldn't even respond to him. Let's see. No, I guess I can't. Here we go. Okay, let me type in here real quick. Yeah, see? This is what happens. If I try to punch something in there, Facebook tells me this feature is temporarily blocked. You recently posted something that violates Facebook policies, so you're temporarily blocked from using this feature. For more information, visit the Help Center to keep from getting blocked again. Please make sure you've read and understood Facebook's community standards. That's what they tell me. So I've been reading that for the better part of a week, and I've been telling them that it's a mistake every time. I think what happened was last week I called somebody a punk ass bitch that was being a punk ass bitch. And I got in trouble for it. That person's feelings got hurt, so they reported me and told Facebook that I was harassing them, that I was being violent or whatever, which I wasn't. That's all that I said was that one comment. I never made it. It's the only comment I made. Stop being a little bitch, or stop being a punk ass bitch, or something like that. And that person, it took them a couple days before they read the post, and they reported me, and Facebook banned me for 7 days. So I'm in jail for another day. Tomorrow I will be out of jail. So I will be responding to Willis Lee. Willis Lee has done some things that has ticked off a lot of people. Let me see. Let me find his original post. If I can find it. Now I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, this guy. Oh, I don't like this guy at all. He's exactly what you think of when you think of he's a troll, is what he is. But he doesn't realize he's trolling. Anyway, what happened was somebody sent him something about suppressors. All right? Where is his comment? Here it is. Okay. Somebody commented to Willis Lee on his page on Facebook, and they asked, as a lifelong member, I'm concerned that the NRA is going to roll over and let Trump ban suppressors. What are y'all going to do about it? Let me read that again, and you tell me if you feel like this question is offensive. You tell me if you feel like this question is out of line. You tell me if you think this person is being snarky. You tell me what your thoughts are on this. I'll repeat it. As a lifelong member, I'm concerned that the NRA is going to roll over and let Trump ban suppressors. What are y'all going to do about this? This is how Willis Lee responded. Thanks for your membership and support. Your snark doesn't deserve a reply. Try again. I didn't see that as a snarky question. So he thanks this person for their money and then tells them he's not going to answer the question because their snark does not deserve a reply. Try again. So he's being a smartass. So Willis Lee got hammered. And Willis Lee thinks he's somebody because on his page, he goes by Willis Lee NRA Board of Directors. So he's very proud of himself. Very proud to be on the Board of Directors. So he comes back on here and puts on his page, busy today. Show you what, where, later. Apparently last night, my words hurt someone's and a bunch of his friends' little feelings. So we let you blow off your tough steam today. Thanks for following this page and for those many actual 2A supporters for supporting the NRA. Apology coming later this evening. If you have any guts, you'll share that also. Stay tuned. You want to hear what his apology was? Here's his apology. Let me find it. I'm scrolling through his page. Okay, yeah, this is his apology, all right? Saving freedom and the Second Amendment is important. Otherwise, we do something else or nothing. Thank you for your support, encouragement, and prayers. You are either with us or you're not. Now, he's talking about the NRA. You're either with us or you're not. Just how it is in today's world. Good 2A folks do not have to take abuse from haters, Democrats, bots, nor trolls. All the same, he says. No one here will appease your bad behavior. You have others who kowtow to and mollify you. This may help. My page, my rules. I'm not an employee. This page is mine. This page is for people who want to save freedom. I came to fight. Don't care whether the fight is for the Second Amendment and freedom or against gun control, Democrats, and haters. Don't like the rules? Wah, wah. 1, we give as many answers as possible. Scroll the page, do your homework. You won't get a response to any answer already posted. Send snark, get snark in return. I decide what is snark and I will mock you for 101 level crap. Show disrespect to the NRA, get disrespect in return, if anything. I decide what is disrespectful. Nasty gets nasty in return. If you can't take it, don't send it. Profanity on this page is okay. Name calling gets you poofed. The more haters who self-identify, the better. I decide what hater notes to keep so we can see that you have no intention of helping the movement, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Disgusting gets deleted. Good members shouldn't see your depravity. Bots and trolls abound. I decide if you're a bot or a troll. P.S. This is the most fun tell. If someone yells snowflake in a crowded room and you think they're talking about you, then you have a problem. A lot of good folks are working hard for Second Amendment. I appreciate every good member who helps and wants us to be successful, to defend freedom, to defend blah, 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 blah. So this guy has really crapped in his own bed. I mean, he is getting hammered from every single angle. He is the epitome of what we don't want on the pro Second Amendment side. I don't want this guy on my side. How he got to be an NRA board member tells me that either he paid somebody or he did sexual favors for somebody. Because there's no way, with the half-ass things that this guy has thrown together with words, that he has any legitimate or real intelligence whatsoever. This guy either knows where the bodies are buried, or else he's done some things for people that he hopes no one will ever find out about. Or he's got the pictures and the video to prove it. What an ass clown. Dude, when I get out of jail, this guy, I may very well be right back in Facebook jail immediately. Because this guy does not, I can't wait to wake up in the morning when I'm out of Facebook jail. It's going to be a beautiful thing because I am going to hammer this guy. I can't even like his page right now because I can't, they won't let me do anything in Facebook right now. So tomorrow morning, it's on. It is on. This guy here is an idiot. How has no one from the NRA, because they have PR guys that know what they're doing, how has nobody from the NRA told this guy, shut up, delete your page, something, just shut up. Stop talking, Willis Lee. I don't understand how no one has told this man to keep his mouth shut. He has dug his hole deeper and deeper and deeper. Every time he says he's going to make amends or do whatever, he just digs a deeper hole. He's so butthurt. He truly is a snowflake. This guy is, if you look up the definition of a snowflake, there's got to be a picture of Willis Lee telling everybody how much of not a snowflake that he is. This guy is a clown. Anyway, Willis Lee, if you have to, go to his page, look at his page. Let's see. If you get to it, it's going to look like this. That's his page. And he is a true work of art. Let him have it. I'll tell you what, you know what's fun? Go read the comments. This man is getting blistered with this crap garbage attitude of his. I mean blistered. There's 1.1 million comments on that last post that I just read. Let me read you one of the highest ranked posts. It's got 812 likes on it right now. This guy nails it. This guy says, I'm a life member. Quite frankly, you are a terrible representative of the organization. I had no idea who you were until a couple of months ago, and part of me wishes I still didn't, because I'd have a lot more faith in the NRA if that were the case. You could use a lesson from guys like Tim Knight and Dwayne Liptak on how to respond to members who are justifiably unhappy with the NRA's direction. Your dismissive tone and outright lying, saying that there's a unanimous support for Wayne LaPierre on the board, that's an outright lie. We know board members who don't support him, so it's not unanimous. Is doing nothing but hurting the NRA and its stated missions. Congratulations, you are a big part of the problem. I mean, I have probably found maybe 5 people out of 1.1 thousand that support this guy, and the rest of them are all against him. He has really stepped in it. This guy is an idiot. An idiot, I tell you. All right, guys, I am going to try to turn some things over to the comment section so that I can read some of your comments and visit with you all before I have to go. We've got a little while left, so if you could, just try to remember to put @LegallyArmedAmerica in your comments so that it will pop up in the section, you know, in orange, highlighted in orange, where I can see it instead of having to read all of them. Let's see. Lala Duty Incarnate says, how's the book going? Book's going good. Guys, I'm writing a book, if you don't know, on raising special needs children with guns in the home. And hopefully I'll have that ready for SHOT Show in January of 2020, this coming year. So, but it's going good though, really good. And thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Let's see. You know, I got to address this. Dodge Mustang says if we allow the NRA to fall, our rights will follow. Member for 43 years. I understand what you're saying, but that's not true. The NRA has to actually come out and support all of the Second Amendment. They cannot cherry pick the things that they want to cherry pick. They can't get behind a guns. They took the wrong approach on bump stocks, because they should have said the ATF has no jurisdiction on bump stocks because that's simply an accessory. We would not be talking about this if we hadn't allowed the NFA to, the Gun Control Act and everything else out there to be put in place, restricting suppressors to the point where we have to pay a $200 stamp. You know, that should not be the case. We should not be begging the government to give us a permission slip that we have to pay for to let us have those. If the NRA does not come out, I don't mean letting Willis Lee talk about it. I mean if the NRA doesn't officially come out about suppressors and say Trump should not be doing that, they're in a bind. And the NRA is not being run properly. The NRA, let me make this very clear. The NRA is not the Second Amendment. If the NRA falls apart, the Second Amendment does not fall apart. The NRA is only the NRA today. Wayne LaPierre can only afford $200,000 worth of clothes because the NRA is made up of strong Second Amendment people that are willing to pay good money to have somebody fight for their rights because they want to fight for their rights. They're willing to take money out of their pockets, of their hard-earned money, and put it somewhere. Do not think for 1 minute that if the NRA went completely away, that there would be such a massive void out there and everybody would be standing back going, well, we don't have anybody now. Not true. I think the NRA has actually hurt, in some ways, gun rights, because it's given people a false sense of security that they don't have to do anything. It's given them a sense of security that they don't have to call their congressman. They don't have to call their senators. They don't have to march on their state capitol. They think the NRA is going to do all that for them. So they feel like, I'll send my money to the NRA, they're going to take care of all this, and I don't have to do any of it. So in some ways, and not just the NRA, gun rights organizations in general kind of hurt the grassroots level people, because the grassroots level people, including myself, tend to put their confidence and their faith in these organizations when they send that check out, when they pay those people. They're like, all right, here we go. I'm giving you this money. I worked hard for it. Now go fight for my Second Amendment rights, instead of me fighting for them. I mean, if my fight is doing this, here you go. If that's the extent of my fighting, that's not a whole lot of fighting. It's just not, guys. I mean, there's not a whole lot of fight involved right there, signing your name to a check and mailing it to the NRA or any other gun rights organization. In a lot of cases, we need to do more and rely less on these gun organizations out there. I'm not saying not to send your money to the NRA or anybody else for that matter. I'm not saying that, because I still send money to some of them. What I'm saying is we need to act like, not like we're paying them to fight the fight for us. We need to pay them to fight additionally. What you're really paying for when you pay those guys is not, well, other than the NRA, you're paying for $200,000 worth of clothes for Wayne LaPierre and his mistress and a home for her. But what you're really paying for when you pay these gun rights organizations all this money is you're essentially, outside of the stuff I just mentioned with LaPierre, you're paying for lobbyists. You're paying for lobbyists to be in Washington, D.C., to take politicians golfing, maybe hunting, well, not hunting, probably skeet shooting, trap shooting, whatever. Go out to bars. You might, the lobbyists, the gun money lobbyists might be buying hookers. I'm sorry, it's true. Might be buying hookers or cocaine for these guys. Look, lobby money is dirty money. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be lobbying, because lobbying, it's, if you don't lobby, you're going to lose. Everybody's got to lobby. But you're talking about hookers, cocaine, golf, you know, airplanes, trips to islands. That's what lobbyists do. So when you send that money off, you're not really paying for anybody to fight. You're really paying for people to bribe politicians and keep politicians voting the way we want them to vote, so that they can keep making that extra money, get that cocaine, hookers, or whatever. It's true, guys. If you think I'm lying, you're being very naive. Washington, D.C. is a freaking cesspool. So that's what we're paying for. Yeah, in some cases, I know Gun Owners of America, they're pretty good. They have some attorneys that do a lot of fighting, and they file lawsuits. And the NRA files some lawsuits too. But when is the last time you heard the NRA file a pro-gun lawsuit? Seriously. And I'm not picking on you, but the gentleman that just mentioned that he was a 43 Dodge Mustang, member of the NRA for 43 years. Can you name the last time that you know of that the NRA actually filed a lawsuit against the federal government or anybody else from a pro-gun standpoint? Can you name the last time that the NRA actually sponsored a bill that was a pro-gun bill that they tried to push through by getting lobbyists to support them? I mean, I would like to know if that's really happening, because I haven't heard anything, and I keep my ear to the ground pretty good. And again, sir, I'm not picking on you by any stretch. I mean, I'm trying to be fair to everybody in here. I'm just giving you my opinion. I have not seen where the NRA has invested anything in attorneys to fight something. Now, they may try to defend things when some unconstitutional things are done, but you see a lot of these other gun organizations out there that are actually filing suit against the government and filing suits against state government, and really trying to push more pro-gun laws out there. So that's what I'd like to see. I mean, I'd like to see my money go there, you know. Let's see. Man, it'll never happen, but I agree with you, Glenn. Glenn Betts says, I believe that the only way to turn our government back to the will of the people is to force term limits on all elected officials. 100%. You are 100% correct. Term limits would solve almost every problem in our society. It would solve so many things. Ain't gonna happen. Who's got to vote for term limits? The people who you're going to term limit out. That's who has to vote. Do you think they're going to vote for that? There's no way anybody is going to vote for term limits. These guys are career politicians. They love it. They love the money. They enter into Congress making $174,000 a year. They leave out 15, 20, 30, 40 years later, multi-millionaires. Let's see here. Let's assume that I go to Congress and I make money and I never have to spend money. I cannot find my calculator. I know I've got one on here. Because I downloaded one. Here it is. All right, let's assume there is no cost of living raise, which, by the way, Congress is voting behind closed doors to give themselves pay raises right now, if you guys did not know that. So Congress is making $174,000 a year. Let's say I serve, I don't know, let's say 8 years. That's $1.3 million. Okay. How is it possible for me to still have a home? Because they do. They have their own personal homes. So how is it possible for those people to have a home and in 8 years make $1.3 million? Still got to eat. Kids still got to go to school. You know they're going to fancy colleges. You know they're going to the nicest private schools out there. You know your kids, you're not going to let them drive anything besides a BMW or a Mercedes or a jacked up $80,000 Ford pickup truck. Somehow these people only make $1.3 million in 8 years, and they leave there with $15 to $20 million in their bank account. Do not tell me that that's not dirty money. You can't do it. You can't do it. No one lives for free. They have money that they have to spend. $174,000 a year, and they leave there millionaires. Unbelievable. So yeah, term limits will not be happening. Do not hold your breath, because you will be dead. Let's see. Yes, the money has corrupted them all. It absolutely has. Yeah, I mean, Jay Griff, you're right. They do have term limits. I guess a quasi-term limit, us voting them out. That's why Congress is so much about politics now, because it's all about name recognition. Because once a person gets name recognition, in general, the American people are so sidetracked with who's winning American Idol or The Voice. And I don't watch enough TV to know what sitcoms are on, but like Seinfeld, ooh, you know, this is the final season of Seinfeld. Game of Thrones, ooh, it's the last season of Game of Thrones. You know, they're so sidetracked with that they don't pay any attention to politics. And when they get in that voting booth, they see a name that they recognize, and they're like, and they vote for them because they're thinking, I got a job, you know, I got a car and a house I can barely pay for, but I'm not broke. So they vote for that person. They vote them back into office. And they believe politicians in some cases. 7 minutes, guys, and I got to get out of here because I got a lot to do. I'm trying to do some filming this weekend on these guys. So, that's funny. If we don't get interested in politics, politics will get interested in you. Absolutely. Politics is very interested in us. Oh, man. Well, look, guys, if y'all are going to go to the range this weekend, we're going to start doing some pretty cool stuff where I'd like to do some stuff where people send us some videos. It's so easy for pretty much anybody to do any kind of videos out there with decent quality. You know, your iPads, your phones, all that kind of stuff. They produce such good quality videos. I'm going to start working on some stuff very soon that you guys, I'm going to invite to send me videos. And I'm going to start including your videos in with my videos. I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to make it more of a what I feel like I'm more about. I'm just an average everyday guy, just like everybody else out there, the majority of working class people. And I want to show that side of my videos that, you know, I feel like I already appeal to the average everyday guy. So now I want to start including, just like me, the average everyday guy in my videos. So I may let you guys start kicking off some of my videos and talk about some of the things, like if there's a certain gun that you already have that I'm about to do a review on, I may get you to give me kind of like your own surmise of it, or the things you like about it, or things you dislike about it, and start including that in my videos. I'm working on how that's going to work. I hope to announce something in the next couple of weeks like that, but I'm excited about that because I think it's going to be really cool to start including some interaction that you guys are having in with my videos. I think that's a pretty nice way of, kind of, we're all in this together, and without you guys being a part of watching my videos and commenting on them and sharing them and doing all that, I think it would be fun to have y'all actually now not just being a viewer, but a participant in the video. I think that would be fun. I know I would get some enjoyment out of that. It'd be a lot of fun. So might be doing some cool stuff like that. Yeah, and Brent does make this good point. Trump is making a deal with Mexico. That's cool. I mean, Trump's doing some cool stuff in other areas. Look, if it wasn't for guns, I wouldn't have much negative to say about Trump. He's just doing some really stupid stuff on the gun front. Guys, I'm gonna bug out of here. Thank you for hanging out, watching us. As always, please, 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 if you're drinking tonight, I'm not. I'm drinking water now. I'm so hot from being so hot today. But if you're drinking, please don't drive. Please get somebody to give you a ride. If you're not going anywhere, drink up. Have a good one. It's Friday night. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be a long, hot summer because, boy, it has started being hot early. So, yeah, get ready, guys. It's going to be a good summer, though. I got a lot of cool videos coming up. And Brent, hopefully, if I get a chance to get out of the house tomorrow, soon enough, I'll be able to catch you guys. I think y'all are doing cowboy action shooting tomorrow. So hopefully you'll be able to catch that. Guys, have a good weekend. Shoot straight. Be safe. And please, 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 keep the fight going, the Second Amendment fight. I mean, it's kind of on us at this point.